Hi, my name is Brad Jones, and this is basically going to be a documentary about me, and why would it be about anybody else? So anyways, that's my real name. I mean, can you imagine being stuck with a name like Brad Jones? It's really hard to explain, but it's like you're waiting to get your driver's license. And they say, okay, Brad Jones, you're up next. Come on up to the window. And then two of you are up there and you're arguing about who's first. No, I'm the real Brad Jones. No, I'm the real Brad Jones. Okay, look, you're both Brad Jones now. Which one of you was first? Come on, tell the truth. Little things like that. First introductions to people or whatever, they introduce themselves to me and, oh, what's your name? Oh, my name's Brad Jones. Oh, yeah, sure, right. No, what's your real name? I want to know what your real name is. Another time I went into the bank, and they're like, the picture on your ID's okay, on your license, but your address has changed. Do you want us to put in for a change of address? Yeah. How much do I got in there right now? Oh, about $50,000. Oh, okay. I'd like to make a withdrawal. I'd like to make a withdrawal for $20,000, please. So there's advantages and disadvantages to being a Brad Jones. There's so many of us. I mean, Jones is the last name. If you're in a foreign country like England, you know, who knows how many are there. But I mean, just in my state where I was raised, there were 7 listed. Not everybody gets listed. I wasn't listed in the phone book. So that adds 8. And then as far as unlisted, I don't know. Maybe 15 or so, maybe more. You don't get an original email address when you're a Brad Jones. It's Brad Jones 13 or 100 or 1000 or whatever, but you don't get the original email address, but basically, I'm going to talk about my life as a Brad Jones. So I was born a Brad Jones, which was a terrible thing for my parents to do to me, but they weren't my real parents, they were my adoptive parents, so I was adopted. That's first thing right off the bat. And I'm not going to talk about, you know, how the government is committing genocide on older people and killing them off early by not giving them adequate medical care and health coverage. And the few that do have health care and coverage, if they don't have it from their former employer and they're getting it from the government, they have to be an attorney to understand the legal forms, and they have to have a legal person. And that kind of sucks when you're going senile and then have to deal with all these legal forms just to have your medical bills covered. And I know the horrible feeling of not being able to go to the doctor and having a chest pain or whatever, or a temperature, because I'm afraid of how much money it'll cost. I mean, okay, so I'm not going to get into that stuff about that. I'm not going to talk about government and how corrupt they are in this show. I will talk about how I don't trust the government. I won't talk about all the conspiracy things that go on, or people that I worked with over the years that were in special ops in the military. I also worked for the military indirectly under another classification. I'm not going to talk about their stories. I'm just going to talk about me. And a good indicator of why I don't trust the government was, see this? This is 17 years I worked for the same company of pay stubs. 17 years. That's how much I trust my government, the U.S. government. That's how much I trust the government. I have 17 years of paper, proof that I worked for the same company. This is just one company. I've worked for several. So you can call me paranoid, or you can say that I see them screwing people out of their money and their retirement and all that. So I covered my own butt. So I have it on paper. It's not on a computer. And you can delete history, you can change history, you can do all kinds of things on a computer, but this is real paper documents here on my retirement, which they'll heckle with you, which all the illegals that are coming in the country that the government doesn't want to even acknowledge. They want to look at the wars overseas and everything and start wars overseas as a distraction to distract you from your retirement, to distract you from all the illegals living in your country, murdering your friends. I have 3 of my friends that were murdered from illegal aliens. And the police. So now you think, oh my God, this guy's a real conspiracy theorist or whatever, you know. So anyways, we got that out of the way. I don't trust the government or the state, and I have no faith in the legal system at all. Well, no, that's not true. The faith I have in the legal system is that it is going to continually be corrupt. That is my faith in the legal system, and that is a good, solid faith, let me tell you. From fact. Now, so what I'm going to talk about is my own personal life starting from childhood and why I don't trust the government or the legal system or any of that stuff, and I never will after what happened to me. And I'm going to show you legal records, and I'm going to talk about my life. So you can think I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatnot, but I have the frickin' legal records, and I have them with me. So they can destroy them on the computers or whatever they want, but I got them with me, and I'm talking about my life. But other people were affected. So first we'll start off. These are, I don't have the original album. These are some baby pictures, or this is part of the baby pictures and everything, but the album went bad. So this was just like a basic medical information on me here and stuff that my mom kept. And then these were my original footprints in life. What happened was I was adopted at 3 days old. I was turned over to custody of my adoptive parents, and then they started with these records. I did meet my real parents later on in life, but these are my actual, you're looking at the real deal paper of Brad Jones. Then I'm trying to figure out where to go with this next. I really didn't completely plan this thing out, and this is going to be ongoing. It's going to be several shows. So this is just show 1 here. Well, I guess I'll talk probably about my childhood. I guess it's a good place to start, like I've been doing a little bit. But my father, his name is Elwood L. Jones. He's dead now. But he was a pedophile and a psychiatrist, and he sexually molested me and other patients, and he murdered our housekeeper, and he put me on drugs at the age of 3. So that in a nutshell, that's what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you legal documentation of it. So this right here is from the Seattle Times, and this is a lawsuit. That means this case went to court, and a judgment was made against my adoptive father for overprescribing drugs. Now, it talks about the various drugs here. If you look closer and all that, we have a variety of medications, including Valium, Ritalin, Dexedrine, Librium, and a 31-year-old man said his psychiatrist turned him into a drug addict. That's what he did to me. He started me on drugs when I was 3 years old back, as far as I can remember, so he could molest me. He molested me so young. He started molesting me. You see that picture? That's a fucking pedophile right there. That's my adoptive father. See how I look? I'm like, you can tell that I'm scared. Here's other pictures of my fucking pedophile father. Right here. And when you get sexually abused that young, when you're a child, let's see if I have a picture. This is right around when he started, or younger. This is as far back as I can remember. And my whole life, ever since the molestation, every time I take a big poop and I bleed or something like that, it reminds me of the sexual abuse. What a fucking feeling to have to live with. Because he was fucking molesting me when I was like fucking barely even a kid. I mean, I barely had hair on my head. I was like fucking 3, 4 years old. He started fucking molesting me. That's a picture of when he started in on me. So I showed you a document involving somebody else. I'll show you further documents involving other people of him over prescribing drugs. This one is a document that does actually involve me. Right here. This is a legal document that involves me. This particular one. Now I'm going to read it to you because it's hard for me to read it the other direction. It hasn't been used. No, he doesn't need it. You decided that Dr. Tidwell is wrong about medication Bradley needed? No, he took the white pills in a row and he got dizzy at school one day and he said he thought the white pill was too much. So it was gradually, did you take it back to Dr. Tidwell? So see, my dad was doping me up, molesting me, and fucking turning me into a fucking drug addict at 4 or 5 at that point. But he was doing it way before then. And did you, another question, did you take him back to Dr. Tidwell? See, this is a legal document. See the numbers there? I didn't just cook this up on the computer. I got this from the fucking court. It's a certified copy. See that? Certified copy. And how many people on YouTube do you think will watch this crap? I'm not doing it to be famous. I'm just sick of being quiet about it. I've sat on it too long. And I never got justice. But fucking YouTube, because the U.S. censors the fucking media and everything, and the government censors the media, they don't want this shit to come out. They don't want to know how people are getting genocided in the U.S. So I'm getting off track a little bit. But anyways, did you take him back to Dr. Tidwell to see if he needed some other medication might be prescribed? Okay, now this is the doctor replying, Dr. Tidwell. Dr. Tidwell says, the child has been symptom-free. See that? So the doctor's wondering, why is he prescribing me or giving me drugs? My father was actually dealing drugs and giving drugs, as I showed in the other document, but so he was giving me his own drugs, but he was also having trying to get this other doctor to prescribe the drugs so he didn't get caught, so he wasn't prescribing too many drugs. He was a smart pedophile. But anyways, the child is symptom-free. Dr. Tidwell says, you can see it right here, don't bring me a child who is completely symptom-free. Do not bring me a child who is completely symptom-free. Now, I showed you in the other document that my adoptive father deliberately overprescribed medication, and he deliberately had me doped up on drugs so he could molest me, and he did molest me when he had me doped up on drugs. Otherwise, I probably would have fought, but he was molesting me so young that I didn't know the difference, and I thought it was normal because I didn't know what normal was. I was just a kid.